Hi, today is Sunday, December 30th, 2018. We're taking a look at the S&P 500 for the last day of trading, 12/31. That's tomorrow, Monday, New Year's Eve. And traditionally, we've had kind of a liquidation event on New Year's Eve. And I'm starting to wonder if the reason why we have seen that the last several years in a row plays more to the fact that the last 5 New Year's Eves have sort of played into the weekend or a long weekend. And maybe that last final trading day, there was so much uncertainty that people just took money off the table since we were going to be closed for a long weekend. So that might have been a factor in why we saw that sort of 40-point dump at the end of the day on Friday. And maybe we're not going to have to suffer that coming in on Monday. But if we are going to go down further, I do have some thoughts on where we might be going to. And if we are going to hold support above Friday's low, I have some ideas there as well. So right now we're looking at the roadmap chart, my daily chart with all of the notes on here. I know this is a busy chart, but this is basically everything that I have seen, everything that I note down, that I see, that I think is important and something that we should be aware of, especially as weekly options traders. So I'm sorry that it's a little bit busy, but when it comes time for a huge liquidation like we've seen the last 2 weeks, I'm sure you were very very glad to know there was someone who had an explanation for why each one of these levels might have or might not have held, and that there's somebody who's taking notes on what did hold and might offer us support or resistance on the way back up. That's my job. That's what I do best, and that's why you've donated and you're here with me. So let's take a look inside this chart here and take a look at what happened on Friday. So on Friday, we came in and we made a nice high well over this 10-day simple moving average. And if you look back to the left side of the chart and follow the blue line on back, you can see that here's the first 2 trading days of December over here up to the left. And these were the only 2 days that we even traded above the 10-day simple moving average. The very first day, we have this sort of like gravestone high that we made, doji candle, and then we rolled over. And the next day lost the 20 and the 10-day in one trading day and closed below them both. And from there, those offered us resistance all the way down. And then until Friday, we came in, we gapped up open pretty much right on it, and then traded on up over it to about 25.20 to 25.21 or so, and then liquidated down 40 points into the close. Bounced and came back to close just off of that pullback at 24.85. And then, so my thought is that if we come in tomorrow and if we can put some support underneath us once again with this 10-day simple moving average, and if we can take out Friday's high, then we just might be targeting, believe it or not, for the last trading day of 2018, we just might be targeting this 20-day simple moving average to sort of match up to what happened over here. And that could be like a crazy 100-point up day. It could actually also just be a non-event tomorrow. We could just sort of trade an inside day and then come in on Thursday after the holiday's over, Wednesday after the holiday's over, and take care of that on the upside. That's certainly possible as well. We could trade up into here and fade and fizzle back down. But really, Friday's range offers us some clues as to how bullish people are going to be going into the holiday, the day off on Tuesday and coming back on Wednesday. If we are going to come in and fade once again and trade down below Friday's low, then obviously we have some back testing to do of this 2.5-day breakout, because Friday really wasn't much of a breakout. I mean, it did make a higher high, but then it closed back down inside of Thursday's range. The halfway back point from this high to the low, the 2018 low that we made last week, would bring us all the way back down to about 24.33 to 24.34, right in here. So if that's the case, if we come in a little lower, I would expect that we might back test as low as that and try to find some support. And if that doesn't hold, then we're probably going to come down here and back test this edge in here, this edge level at 24.0854. This was one of our lows on the way down. And these edge levels offered us a lot of clues and support back here before we broke down below 2400, or actually before we even broke down below 2600. We had a lot of like great clues about edge levels, and I think that this is one of them, this 2408 area. So either we're going to be coming in and trying to work our way towards that 20-day, or we're going to be coming in and working our way towards 2433. And if that breaks, I think we come down here to the lower 2400 handle. And to support that, we can look here at the 5-minute intraday chart. And look at this breakout that we had last week on Thursday at the end of the day. First off, we sold all the way down to 23.97, and then we bounced off of that. And once we passed this 24.33 or so level that ends up being our halfway back, boom, we really broke out. And one of the reasons why I think we broke out was because we had been following an uptrend. We broke, that's this green dotted line. We broke it. We came back to the classic kiss back to this line, and either you break out over it or you kiss back and die and you fall back lower. Well, we did indeed break out over it. And at the same time, we were breaking out over this downtrend that comes to us from the Fed day high, that 25.85 level that we printed on the day the Fed came out. And this downtrend had made its way all the way down here to this point, and they apexed, and that's right where this breakout happened. I rarely ever talk about trend lines and stuff like that because I really think they're voodoo magic. Maybe coincidental, but maybe algos really were pointing at these and this 2440 level where everything sort of like lined up that day and we broke out. So here we go looking at Friday, and you can see, you know, we broke out up to 25.20. We came back down, broke back down below the 10-day. I've moved this 10-day line to where I think it's going to be tomorrow. I think it's going to be at 24.80, but it was up here more like 24.88 or so on Friday. And once we broke down below that, we pushed down, and then we couldn't even come back to close back above it. But in any case, if we come in tomorrow flat and can move on out, we'll be working our way all the way up here. But if we fade it, it makes a lot of sense to come back here and retest this breakout point, because that's also where that halfway back is between this high and the low we set last week. That's 24.33.73 is the halfway back. Over on the roadmap chart I just put on there, 24.33 to 34. And then if this breaks, then it looks like we're going to come back and back test this downtrend. Okay, so here we broke out over this downtrend. We traded up. We came back and back tested it one more time and held. So are we going to break out again, or is this time we're going to fail and we're going to come back and have to back test this downtrend? And to back test this downtrend, we're going to break the halfway back and come all the way down here to this low 2400s handle. Okay, so you've got from the roadmap, you've got some common sense stuff, you know, just looking at, if you want to just look at a daily time frame and look at these larger focal points, great. If you want to get down into the more technical, into the weeds, looking at trend lines and stuff, you've got evidence here on your 5-minute chart pointing to some good ideas for the downside. And as far as the upside goes, these are all the things that we've got to get through in order to get to that 20-day that I estimate will be around 25.83 or so. And 25.85 is our end of the line goal. That is the Fed day high. That's the scene of the crime. If we can make it past that, then we start a whole new chapter of upside from there. But if we get up this high, this is a good spot that things could fall apart and shorts could come in and push us back lower. I'm going to be looking at puts once we get up here. I'm going to look at puts too if we come in tomorrow and sort of fade the 10-day. But I'm only going to be looking at them for a possible move to, like I said, 24.30s. And if that breaks, then I know we're going down to the lower 2400 handle. Okay, but on the way to the 20-day, we've got to get through Friday's high. We've got to get through the original 2018 low. That's kind of an interesting level because we're on our last trading day for the year. Are we going to try and move above that original 2018 low and close above it? That would be kind of a bullish statement. The next edge above that is at 25.45 to 46 area. There were lots and lots of levels in there. you know, and I just sort of like mark this off as an edge that we've got to like get through. And then above that, we have 2565, which was sort of a line in the sand on Tuesday and Wednesday during the last Fed meeting. Just above that is 2573. That's the halfway back for the whole month of December. Remember, this halfway back here is just between this high that we made on Friday and this low back here that we made on Christmas Eve. That is the low for 2018. The halfway back for the entire month of December is all the way up at 2573. So getting all the way up there, that's kind of an interesting thing. And are we going to close out the year in the upper half or the lower half of the range for December? And then just above that will be the 20-day. And once again, are we going to close out the year and the month above or below the 20-day? So those are my thoughts. I hope they help you out for tomorrow. I'll be trading all day. I'll be trading in online all day. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Also, if you have any charts that you'd like to see done looking into the new year, let me know. I'm going to be around. I'll do some charts on New Year's Day, and I'll be happy to do some charts for some individual names if there's anything you'd like to see a chart on. You know, I always do the normal stuff, Amazon, Google, Netflix, Apple, so on and so forth. But if there's anything that you don't ever see me post, well, you know, let me know. And as long as you don't give me a list of like 5 or 6 of them, if you give me 1 or 2, I'm happy to do them for you anytime. Not just on holidays, but I will happen to be around and doing up some charts when we're off on New Year's Day. That's it. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll see you later on tonight when futures open. And I'll be trading all day tomorrow. See ya.